Hey, it's Matt Haynes, and today I have another wireless microphone kit to review, and this one's a little different. This one has a receiver unit that plugs directly into your phone. So instead of having a receiver unit and then it's got a clip onto something and then you have a cable, this just plugs directly in, and they make an iPhone version, they make an Android or a USB-C version, and I'm going to try out the iPhone version this time around. Also, this is from a brand I haven't tried before. This is Comica. Actually, I don't know. I should probably find out. Also, so they reached out to me and they said, hey, can we send you a free unit to evaluate, to review? No pressure. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? So there's no obligation for me to give them a good review. So I'm going to give them an honest review instead. This model is the Boom X-D. Well, to be complete, it's the Boom X-D MI1. Boom X is their wireless microphone line. The D stands for digital. And then the MI1 indicates that it's for an iPhone. Like I said before, there is a version for USB-C, and they even make a version that will work with a camera. It's the square receiver, has a cable, clips on to the camera, much like you've seen in previous reviews of mine. And the digital is the 2.4 gigahertz technology. And now we got to open this up. The packaging is nice, although I was struggling to open it and I ripped the box. Oh well. There's little magnets, I guess I was trying to open up there, so keep that in mind. And there's the units there, nicely displayed, look pretty good. Okay, here is the microphone, or the transmitter, and it's got a microphone on top. This is the receiver unit. It fits on the end of your iPhone. We have paperwork. This is odd. It's almost like a paper clip. I seem to remember reading they had some sort of reset thing. I think a paper clip might work as well, but this is like fancy. Probably cost them an extra ½ cent. And then underneath we have a tiny little dead cat for the lavalier mic, which I'm assuming is in here somewhere. By the way, the lavalier mic I'm wearing right now has nothing to do with the Boom X series. This is a Movo wired mic, so just not to confuse things. And here's a lavalier mic, and it's also got a pop filter on it. It comes with a clip. And let's see how long the cable is here. For something like this, I wouldn't expect the cable to be very long because it only needs to reach from like near your mouth to maybe your waist or something. So that's like that long right there. Oh, my favorite. Don't eat these. Now this is a USB-C charger for the unit. So I'm looking around here and all this stuff, and we got quite a mess here. What I'm not seeing is a case to put this stuff in. I mean, obviously it's got this nice box that I ruined, but there's no like little pouch or anything like that. And all three of the other microphones that I've reviewed that are wireless microphones, they came with some sort of pouch. So when I'm traveling around, this is a big box to carry. I wouldn't want to carry this, which means I need to find somewhere to put these in to keep them safe. All right, we got to clean this mess up and go try them out. We are here at the Hollywood Bowl today and seeing an epic band from the 80s. And I'm testing this microphone system in a really noisy environment. And sorry, I keep cutting you off there. So we'll figure out how it sounds. But if it can stand this, it can stand anything.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So typically when I go for a hike and bring a camera, I'll bring a monopod and I'll just put it on the monopod as a kind of a stabilizer. Hey puppy, come here, hi. But unfortunately, I forgot to bring the little adapter that allows me to put my phone on the monopod. So I'm going to have to go through this hike talking to you using nature's tripods. In other words, finding a place where I can set it down. The Boom X-D came fully charged in the box, which is a nice touch. And also it was already paired, the transmitter and the receiver, also a nice touch. Saves you a little time. The receiver is powered by your phone and it's very light as a result. It doesn't have a battery in it. Also, something to keep in mind, it's probably not going to work with your phone case. I have a very slim phone case on my phone, and yet the receiver just fell right out when I tried to attach it, and it wouldn't light up. So you're going to have to pull your phone out of your phone case. Now, one thing that was a concern on some of the other units I've tested from other manufacturers is, are the LEDs bright enough for daylight? And at first I thought, yeah, these are nice and bright. And then I was very concerned that they were really dim. But it turns out there's a timed dimmer on the transmitter. So to save battery, after a while it just goes dim, but you can hit the power button and it'll bring it back so you can see it. So the verdict, LEDs, nice and bright. My wife says that I'm ruining her hiking zen by talking to myself the entire time. So I'm letting her go ahead as I record. Another sign that Comica has put a lot of thought into this product is that the dead cat actually works on both the transmitter and the lavalier. That's the first time I've seen a manufacturer make that happen, so that's good thinking. The transmitter unit has two buttons on it. There's the power button, which doubles as a mute button, and there's also the pairing button. Each one of those buttons will bring the LEDs up to full brightness. However, you got to be careful, because if you hit the power button twice, you're going to mute it, and the mute symbol is a little hard to tell from the unmuted. My biggest pet peeve with this microphone system so far is on the receiver side. There are two buttons on the receiver. There's a mono stereo switch, so if you're using two transmitters, you can decide whether you're sending them to left and right or to combine them. And then there's a one button volume switch that cycles through 5 different volume steps. However, there's no indication about where the volume is set. So the only way to find that out is to do a test recording and click through the buttons until you figure out whether you're on the quietest or loudest, and then it cycles back through. So that's frustrating. We're coming to the end of our hike, and you got to hear the Boom X-D out in the field. So let's head back to the studio and do some more exploring. Now you've had a chance to hear the Comica Boom X-D MI1 in the field. I took it out on a hike and I took it to some very noisy environments. Now I wanted to bring it back into the studio so that you could hear how it sounds in a very controlled environment. I gotta say though, I have found a problem with the microphone, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But I wanted you to hear how it sounds. Also, we're gonna compare it with a competitor. I'm gonna compare it with the Røde Go II Wireless system so that you can hear the difference. So you're hearing the Boom X-D transmitter microphone. You can see it right here on my collar. This is just using the box. Now I'm gonna plug in the lavalier microphone. As I mentioned before, the dead cat fits over the lavalier as well, so you don't have to have multiple dead cats. I think that's pretty cool. And now I'm gonna plug it in and get it set up here. Okay, now you're hearing the lavalier mic, and you can see I've got it positioned where lavalier mics should be positioned, which is kind of right in the middle of the chest there. Now I noticed when I plug the lavalier mic in, I don't really have to adjust the volume level. It is about the same as the transmitter, which is nice. And I find that the lavalier microphone has a very similar sound to the microphone built into the transmitter. So that's good. Consistency is good. Okay, so let's switch it over now. Now you're listening to the Røde Go II Wireless system, and I have the transmitter roughly in the same place as I had the Comica system. Now the receiver for the Go II Wireless system doesn't naturally plug into an iPhone. However, you can buy a special cable, and it's like 30 bucks or something. So I'm able to actually have a digital signal going from the Go II system into my phone. So it's completely digital from there. Much like the Comica system. Of course, the Comica system has the receiver that is designed for the iPhone, whereas to do this with the Go II, you can't see it, but there's a cable and it's just kind of dangling. Not as convenient, but you can do it with the Go II system as well. So this is how the Go II wireless system sounds, and I'm gonna switch back now so you can do a A/B comparison again with the Comica. Okay, and we're back to the Comica Boom X-D using the little transmitter box again, and it's on my collar in the same place. Now, here's the problem I found. And I gotta tell you, this review has been delayed at least a month, 6 weeks, something like that, probably closer to 2 months. The problem is, as I was testing this in the field and reviewing the clips I made and starting to put the edit for the video together, I started hearing these clicking noises or these ticking noises. And I thought at first it was, I don't know, just randomness or something, but I kept hearing it over and over. When I started listening really closely, I realized that it wasn't like the way I was talking or anything else. It wasn't overloading the mic. It was coming from the Comica system itself. And this unit is pretty noisy. You mute this here, and the receiver unit, I'm pointing to it because it's on my phone there, the receiver unit has a lot of what sounds like radio frequency interference going on. It's just like sort of humming noises, and it almost like it's switching channels, and every once in a while when it switches those channels, you hear this sort of louder click. Now, most of the time, your voice or whatever the ambient noise is going to overpower that background noise. However, I don't like the fact that it's there. Sometimes I can hear it even when I'm talking. But the clicks are quite a bit louder. They're not disastrous in their volume level, but they're kind of noticeable. I mean, I was not expecting to hear them, and I just, as I was editing, went, what was that? And then later, what was that? So it kind of depends on how picky you are, but at the price point these are not that much cheaper than the Go II system. At that price point, you know, I'm looking for a higher end quality. So I've tested on multiple models of iPhone. I contacted Comica about it. I said, hey, do you know anything about this noise problem? And they're like, no, but here, we'll send you a second unit. So they sent me a completely new second unit, transmitter, receiver, same noise problem. I suspect, I don't know this for sure, I suspect that the receiver unit that plugs into the phone is not shielded well enough, and so it's picking up radio interference from, you know, with the transmitter sending signals, but I don't know that for a fact. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the transmitter so that you can hear the background noise, so that you can hear the clicking. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase the volume of that noise so that you can hear it. I'm not gonna blow your ears out, don't worry, but I do need to bring the volume up so that you can hear it. I don't know if YouTube is subtle enough to hear something very, very quiet. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to compare it to the Go II wireless system, because you can mute that one as well. And we'll talk about that in just a sec. Okay, so let's mute it here. Now we're back to the Go II wireless system, and I'm going to mute this as well and compare the noise. And I'm going to raise the noise section the same amount as the Comica, so you can compare it. So let me just mute this here. Okay, we're back and we're unmuted, and hopefully you could hear the difference there. The Go II wireless is essentially completely silent, and the Comica has quite a bit of noise. I think part of the problem, well, at least part of the difference, is that the Comica, you mute the transmitter, but it doesn't mute the receiver. So if the receiver's making noise, that just continues making noise. With the Go II, when you mute it, you're muting it on the receiver itself. So it can just shut off, it could just be digital zero, right? And no sound whatsoever. So that makes a difference. But the fact that the Comica is making that noise at all is very concerning. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed, because I really like the functionality of the Boom X-D system, and it's got a lot of cool features with it, given the price point. But with the sound quality issue like that, that's really concerning, because not even comparing it to the Go II, which is more expensive and has even more features. But if you compare it to like the Boya system that I did a review on a little while ago, it's, you know, the Boya system maybe doesn't have quite the feature set this does, but it's pretty close, and the sound quality is better because you don't have that noise. Now, I haven't been able to test their standard receiver. I don't have that. I only have the iPhone receiver unit. So whether the other types of receivers that's available in this line also are noisy, I really don't know. But if you're looking for an iPhone-only wireless system, I don't think this is it. I think you can do better. If you're interested in expanding your knowledge about wireless microphones, then, and there are a lot of brands and types of wireless microphones out there, you'll be interested to know that I did a microphone blowout, shootout comparison with 3 different brands of microphones, and you can get a sense of different price points, how they sound, and all that. So click right here, and I think you'll be glad you did.